First off, I like to make it clear up front that this video is sponsored by ASRock, and in it, we're going to be taking a look at one of the key features of this Z590 Taichi, the killer DoubleShot Pro. Now, for those of you who missed the announcement, Rivet Networks, the company who made the killer products, were acquired by Intel last year. So what we have here is an Intel Killer E3100 2.5 gigabit Ethernet controller and an Intel Killer AX1675X Wi-Fi controller. Now, both of those are impressive in their own right because, rather obviously, the 2.5 gigabit per second Ethernet controller offers up to 2.5 gigabits per second of bandwidth. But the AX1675 Wi-Fi chip, well, that one can offer a further 2.4 gigabits per second over Wi-Fi. And the very fancy thing about the DoubleShot Pro is that you can actually pair them together so that the built-in NICs that are just on this motherboard can offer you up to 4.9 gigabits per second of total bandwidth. Now, the thing is that having all of this bandwidth built into your motherboard is fantastic and great to see, but unless you have a 2.5 gig switch, ultra-fast wireless access points, and something like a NAS on your network that you can access at those speeds, you can't really make use of all of that extra bandwidth. But here's the cool thing. Combining the connections isn't the only feature that the DoubleShot Pro system offers. In fact, it actually works better on more limited internet connections thanks to the prioritization engine and the bandwidth controls. I thought I would switch things around so that you can see what I'm talking about, and what I'm talking about is the prioritization engine, which automatically classifies and prioritizes high priority traffic like your Fortnite game data over the background stuff like background Windows updates. If you were to do this sort of thing on the router level, it would normally be called QoS or quality of service or sometimes packet prioritization. The benefit of having this sort of thing run on your system as well is that the killer control center can see what programs are sending and receiving data. If you do it at the router level, all that your router can see is where the packet is going, what type, and what port it's using. It can't see which exact programs sent that data, so it can't know for sure if it's data from Steam, from Steam Download or the Epic Game Store, or if it's coming from your actual game. So, like I said, having the killer control center running means that it can see which programs are using your bandwidth and balance that much better so you get a much better experience. On top of that, you also have the option of smart access point selection, where the prioritization engine will pick which connection is better suited for that type of traffic. For example, your Ethernet connection is almost always the faster, lower ping connection, so it's generally going to put all of the game data through Ethernet, but the less ping sensitive types of data like Windows updates, like your streaming from YouTube or Netflix, or even things like Steam updates, those can all go over Wi-Fi so that you can leave all your game traffic unimpeded. Plus, if your internet connection is really limited, then there's another nice feature too. You don't have to connect the Wi-Fi to the same network as you connect your wired Ethernet. If you have enough data on your data plan from your phone, you can connect the Wi-Fi to a Wi-Fi hotspot from your phone, and the prioritization engine will be able to send that unimportant or background traffic through your phone's Wi-Fi connection while keeping your wired home internet connection as free as possible so that you can get the lowest ping possible while playing games. So how do you set it up? Well, you will want to head to the ASRock website for the Z590 Taichi board, head to the support section where you can download both the killer driver and the killer control center. Once they are installed, you will then want to head or open up the killer control center and head to the settings page where you'll enable the killer DoubleShot Pro. If you haven't already, do make sure that you plug in your Ethernet's cable to the killer, the blue Ethernet port, and make sure that you connect to Wi-Fi, either your home Wi-Fi network or a Wi-Fi hotspot. Then you can head to the prioritization engine tab, where you can control all of the programs that may be using your bandwidth. On the left-hand side is what port or what device it's using. You can also pin it, and you can set a numbered priority. So in this case, I would probably want Chrome to be somewhere around 4. Let's maybe set it to 3. And we're gonna set Steam, because let's face it, Steam updates are probably more important. We're gonna set that to 1 so that it's nice and high up our list. You can even outright block applications by pressing the block button if that's what you want. And you can also change the download and upload speed bandwidth limit. So in this case, if you wanted the Windows processes to max out at 30% of your upload and your download, you can set that here. You will also want to head to the Game Fast tab and enable it so that whenever your motherboard and the control center detects that you're running a game, it will prioritize that traffic over everything else to make sure that you get the best connection for your game possible. You can also visit the intelligence engine, where you can see a number of recommendations for how to improve your experience. In my case, it says that I'm not using a 2.5 gigabit per second switch and router, and therefore it suggests that I upgrade, which would be a valid upgrade, especially if I wanted to work off of my NASes. But there's lots of things that you can do here, including set bandwidth limits. And if you are using Wi-Fi, especially your home Wi-Fi, it's a good idea to click on the Wi-Fi Analyzer tab and have a look at the different bands. The 2.4 GHz band is almost always more crowded, but as routers have gotten more popular and more advanced, the 5 GHz bands are also quite popular too. What you're looking for here is dead space. So in my case, I probably want to move my channel up to something like channel 80, as there's a lot of free air there that will mean I'll get the best and most unimpeded connection. On the 2.4 GHz band, it is often more difficult to find some free airspace, and so you want to make sure that you are as far away from any other strong signals as possible. So in my case, I probably want to move my connection to the bands 14 through 16 for the best performance. So that's a look at the killer DoubleShot Pro system on this ASRock Z590 Taichi. If you want to find out any more about the DoubleShot Pro system or this motherboard and its accompanying NICs, then check out the link in the description below. And of course, thank you to ASRock for supporting the channel and sponsoring this video. I also have to thank you guys for sticking around. I hope you enjoyed the video and found it useful and informative. If you did, feel free to let me know in the comments down below. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave those down there too. Otherwise, as always, there are plenty of ways to both stay up to date on the videos, like hitting that subscribe button and turning the bell notification icon on, and ways to support the channel other than just watching these sponsored videos. There's a whole load of links in the description you can check out. I'll leave you to have a look, and there will be plenty of other videos on the end cards as well if you want to take a look, so feel free. Otherwise, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you all in the next video.